Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Onward VR Master League. I am your caster today, Noman with a 4. I'm joined by my co-caster and favorite analyst, Sleepy23s. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Noman, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking.
Fantastic. Well, we are bringing the folks at home today. SMC Tactical versus Danglers in this Season 8, Week 1 set of matchups. This is a challenge match issued, as I understand, by the Danglers. And
Yes.
we're going to be seeing some pretty exciting play. And, I mean, we're getting players filing into the lobby right now, so I'm not going to waste too much time. Let's quickly talk about the bans that we got. Sleepy, take the folks through the bans that we have got today.
Yeah, absolutely. So Danglers are going to have banned Suburbia against SMC, which is a smart ban. Suburbia is a very strong superpower, you could almost call them on this map. They're very strong. They're very difficult to deal with. However, Danglers have been known to do some damage on it as well, but I'll still call it a smart ban. Then we have a ban of Tanker from SMC Tactical, which to me, considering all the remaining maps on the board, I feel like Tanker is maybe not the most ideal pick in all reality. However, they seem to be very confident in it, so we'll go with it. I would have thought if they were going to ban anything, it would be Downfall, because Danglers have been known to use Downfall in their advantage, to their advantage, I should say, when SMC's kind of got them on the ropes with a map lead or maybe even 2 map leads, and they're trying to just kind of win one in the series. So a really kind of bizarre thing for me to see them take a smaller map like Tanker over Downfall or maybe even Quarantine, but they are strong on Quarantine, so I take that back.
Let me correct you real quick, because the first map is actually Suburbia. The ban is Subway. Subway was the actual ban.
Subway.
Yeah,
Okay,
coming out.
so yeah, don't listen to me, folks, 'cause I'm just wrong.
That is all right. Yeah, so Subway is the ban. Suburbia is going to be the first map choice, and that is going to go SMC's way, as I understand it. So they're going to be starting off on, I mean, as Sleepy said, it is one of their strongest maps in the game, so it's not surprising to see them make that choice. Let's take a quick look at the roster, especially in week 1 here. We've been seeing a ton of roster changes between teams. Lots of people sort of shuffling every which way. So let's take a look at... why is that not showing up? 1 second. Oh, okay. That's deciding not to show up. All right, here we'll get this up in just a moment, folks. Sorry about that.
Tisk, Noman.
I know.
Getting so ambitious, but so unprepared.
Flying too close to the sun, in fact. All right.
You got singed. You did.
There it is. Okay, so let's talk about the match information here. So on the SMC side, we got Sickness, Captain Soda, Edna Jordan, Landon Jordan, Mr. Beefy, Pone Cake, and 2 new additions, a Miracle Dev coming over from Stone Cold Killers, and Triple Nipple coming from Cats in Hats. Those are the 2 new additions for SMC. Meanwhile, on the Dangler side, we've got Expediter, Llewellyn, Mexicutioner, Nintendo, Riboman, Kitten Mittens, Plenus, and Stumpy. The new addition there being Kitten Mittens, coming over from Legionnaires. So some interesting new players on this roster. We have not yet seen all members in the lobby yet, so I'm interested to see who is playing from those new recruits. It looks like SMC is choosing to field 5 of the original.
Yeah.
They are all in. Captain Soda, Mr. Beefy, Sickness, Landon, and Pone Cake are in. And we will see who Danglers decides to field in this week 1 setup. I mean, really, it kind of makes sense, right? First map, first week, you play your known, your known good players. You try to field the best you can.
Yeah. And I'd say while you are, with SMC picking up some newer players in the end of last season or even mid-season, like Triple Nipple, for example, while you do want to continue to test them out and put them to the limits test to kind of see where their limit is on your squad, at the same time, when you're issued a challenge match and such a rivaled match like Danglers and SMC have had, especially in the last 4 or 5 seasons, you really want to put your best foot forward. And so I'm really surprised to see names like Mr. Beefy on that roster on the side of SMC Tactical right now, because that means they're taking stuff seriously. I don't know if Mr. Beefy's just more available now than he was last season, but we really didn't see him play a whole heck of a lot like we did in previous seasons. So good to see him back. They're running kind of their main old school roster. It's a strong roster, so Danglers are going to have to be careful, but their roster's nothing to scoff at either.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're starting to see that fill out. We do have Stumpy, Ribo, Plenus, and Mex, and there it is. Nintendo will be the final player coming in for Danglers. And if you're good at math, you know that that is 10 players, which means we're not too far out from starting this match off already. And I do want to take just a second off the top, thank our sponsors for the VRML and Onward here, VR Cover and ProTube. Thank you guys for supporting us, providing prizes for the championships at the end of the season, and everything else that you guys do. We appreciate it. And a special thanks to all you viewers in the community. Wouldn't do this if you guys weren't here, so we appreciate you. Hopefully you guys will be slamming some sweet clips into the old Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Keep that up. We are loving that stuff, and this should be a game full of clips. If I know anything about my SMCs and my Danglers, we're gonna be seeing some great equipment play here.
It should be. And to be fair, though, I saw a lot of great action earlier today between Dead Logic and the Pacifist with Nightfire and Seth Bowden casting. I mean, that was actually a really great game. I actually pulled a lot of clips for us from that game, so Buxton, you can thank me later. I accept PayPal and Venmo. But no, yeah, so we should be seeing a lot of great moments from this game, and as Noman said, we really do hope you guys clip that stuff, because it makes it easier for us to put on those later productions like the V-Respawn recap shows each week.
Yeah, absolutely. There's going to be no shortage of action here. So the first objective, let's quickly talk about this. The first objective is going to be the center house on Suburbia Day. I mean, you want to talk about an objective that has seen more play styles and more various attempts and approaches than likely almost any other for a map of this size. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think is going to be happening on the SMC side as they start off on the attack? What do you think the Danglers defense? I mean, like, what can we expect here? What do you think the kicker is going to be? You got to answer quick.
To be honest, I don't know, because SMC's been changing up their attack on this objective. It used to be they would just go ham straight down the center like a running back in a fourth quarter football game. But no, now, and I'm going to say the Danglers are going to put 5 or 4 in the castle, which is just a tight defense on the objective. They're not going to try and give it up to SMC Tactical, but the side of SMC Tactical seems a little bit more unknown to me. I don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to run straight at it like we've seen them do in the past and work for them very well? Or are they going to take a more methodical, communicative approach than they have in the past?
A little bit of pre-fire. Yeah, a little bit of pre-fire coming out from Pwnekake. It is going to be a relatively split up offensive push. So we are seeing pretty much a member in every lane. 1, 2, 3, and 4 all having an approach. Danglers indeed are taking up positions inside of center house, trying to keep all of the doors and entryways covered. Mech's the only floater there across the street on the side, and Landon's going to find him quickly in lane 1. Make it a quick 5-4.
Yeah, that's a tough position to take up on defense. I mean, most people are aware of those spots under the APC by now, so running it against a seasoned team of OG players like SMC's running on their roster right now is a very tricky maneuver, and Mex did pay for it, but nothing's set in stone yet. I mean, again, there's 4 in the castle. Pwnekake coming in, though. He's going to find Riboman inside. He's going to have to deal with 3 more, though, before he can claim a successful insertion into the center house.
Yeah, the offense there calling out Stumpy up, flipping the lighter for the Molotov, so they know there's going to be a Molotov waiting for them upstairs if they wait a little too long. Plenus takes a few shots onto Pwnekake, does not down him. He's looking for that frag. Oh, and they do not connect just yet, but Pwnekake now aware of his position.
Grenade coming in. Too hot. Mr. Beefy goes over. Meanwhile, Pwnekake rushes in and does find Plenus. It's all down now to the last 2 members of Danglers, Stumpy Nub and Nintendo. All of them, just 2 of them against all of the entire SMC attacking force. This is not looking good for round 1 for Danglers here. Nintendo is going to find 1 onto Pwnekake, though, and that's going to be the start of evening out. But no, Mr. Beefy will return the favor almost immediately with a headshot, and he'll find another. onto Stumpy Nub, and SMC Tactical will go up 1-0 here on Suburbia.
Yeah, indeed they will, and that was quite a play. Beefy picking up 2 quick little refrags at the end there, sopping up the rest of Danglers, and a strong opening push by SMC, something that, I mean, we've been seeing SMC really tear it up in these last 2 matches that they've, I mean, obviously this first round of this match, but the match they played against Legionnaires, they have been putting quite the amount of work there. So I'm not surprised to see it working well. I am surprised to see it working quite that well. Definitely looking like they have been putting in, you know, the practice time. They've been shoring up after last season, I think.
Yeah, I think also, you know, SMC, it stung a little bit hearing everyone ask, like, what was going on with them. You know, because they were always such a kind of dominant force in the NA side and overall in the league. And then to see them start losing matches to these kind of unexpected opponents, you know, Phoenix, Blaze, I think you guys beat them last season as well, right?
Correct, yeah.
So I think a lot of people were shocked by that, and I think it really stung those guys because, you know, they had gone to a few LAN events, you know, invitational LAN events, qualifying LAN events, and even the OC5 semis and finals. But then they started kind of falling off, and I don't know what that was. I don't know if that was personal issues, you know, family, in real life, business, you know, work, that kind of stuff, or what it was, but they kind of fell off. And I think it stung when people would ask them, you know, what's happened to SMC? But now they're showing a very, very strong SMC, one very capable of even possibly becoming a top dog here in the NA and worldwide.
Absolutely. We'll see how their defense holds as Danglers kick off this second round of map 1. And I'm expecting to see that patented, that copyright trademark Danglers rush here. I'm expecting to see some real aggression from the offense. I'd be surprised to see really anything else.
Well, it'll tell me a lot right now if the Danglers don't push up more quickly and more, you know, with more determination, because if they don't, then that means that they're in their own heads a little bit. They've already lost a round here and on defense, so they could be in their own heads, which might make them change up their play style, and it could cause them to kind of tilt the match even further in SMC's favor if SMC does contain the edge already.
Yeah, it's definitely a little disheartening to start off on defense on, you know, your enemy's map choice.
Ooh, that grenade in the back.
There it is. Stumpy Nub is going to be downed. That should be information for Beefy as to his location, but if he goes for the confirm, Rybo is going to be able to find that refrag, so I don't think we'll be seeing him going for that. We should see a res come out here in just a moment.
Yeah, there's Plenus almost instantly. Now he's going to go ahead and push up lane 1 towards the APC, but he's not going to complete the push. Actually, he's going to hold tight. Mr. Beefy's going to now have wasted his utility, but the revive utility was also wasted on the side of Danglers, so kind of a 1-for-1 trade there, though I think I'd rather have wasted a syringe than a grenade.
Oh, Rybo Man finds himself that nade. He could have avoided it, but decided to make the push in instead. That is going to take him out of the running completely as he goes out of the game. Now a 4v5. Executioner in danger as well. Luckily, that one does not land. Plenus finds Landon on the inside of center house on the back, and now we're starting to see a bit of a chink in the armor for SMC Tactical, as it were. They're not careful here. Stumpy finds Beefy.
Plenus watching for the windows. Homecake's right outside. Plenus is going to run up the front porch, and Danglers in just a matter of seconds. All of a sudden, they wipe the entire rest of the SMC team, and they're going to take their own Martsock round and even things back up 1-1 here on Subway. Goodness gracious, Noman. Between the grenades and just the flash plays like what we just saw, I hope to see this the rest of this series, because this is exciting onward play.
Yeah, that was great stuff. I mean, that developed quickly. It wasn't a rush from go, right? Not from word go. They set up, they got their pick, and then once they had the confidence that they were causing a little bit of confusion on the defensive side, they made their move, cleaned it up. I mean, that was maybe 20 seconds from start to finish once Plenus got that Landon Jordan kill on the inside of center house. And that was I know, it's great play. Obviously, I don't think they were aware. I don't think the defense was aware that they had gotten it down with that grenade. It's one of those things that, you know, and I kind of wanted to mention this. It's such a tricky thing when you get those insta-kills because the Onward character model does not actually make sound. He doesn't scream like usually if you get downed, you make a sort of dying noise. So when you get an insta-kill like that, it can actually be almost not beneficial. You don't really know whether or not you've gotten someone down.
Right, especially on those lobs.
Yeah, and you know, Ribo's position there would have easily been heard by center house, but obviously they did not. And so staying tucked in and not capitalizing on a man advantage potentially cost them that round. So we will see what happens as we shift to the north white car objective, northwest white car. And now SMC back on the offense. And man, it's looking like we're going to be going to a you know, trade for trade type of game.
I mean, honestly, I hope so. Honestly, I wish every game went trade for trade, you know? I mean, because then you know you've just got well-matched opponents. It's really not too often that we do see blowouts. We do see it a bit more here at the start of the season. Less so with challenge matches because typically those people are within relative skill range of one another. They're not new teams, typically, things like that.
Right.
But yeah, in the newer part of the season, the first part of the season, you will see some more imbalanced ones as some newer teams and some older teams are recreated and things of that nature. But already an early grenade, well, I won't say early grenade because it wasn't early, folks, but an early round grenade coming out from SMC. Another one going to come out onto lane 1. They're looking for that semi. It looks like some of the more popular spots. Beefy will find a nice headshot onto Nintendo, and that'll be one of the Danglers down, but they've already wasted at least 3 grenades, so that's 3, maybe even 4 grenades. So that's,
I believe that was 3, but they did kill one member of the Danglers, and whether or not it was with a grenade, they do have that man advantage now. I mean, BP has to be thinking it's maybe just a down, and he goes for the flash. Plenus cleans him up in lane 1. Now Landon should be aware of his positioning. A little bit of pre-fire there puts him in danger.
Smoke's coming out from an odd position on the side of SMC. They land on the roof here between lanes 1 and 2. No real effect on anything, so not very helpful. A little bit of other utility wasted there. I won't narc him for it or anything, but Landon popping another smoke of his own, but his going to be very useful as he's going to be able to make the crossover.
Oh, an interesting play here. Pone Cake, wow, using the explosion of the C4, calling I'm down, while obviously not being down, forces Mex to rotate to try to confirm, and then grabs that kill. A great play there, a little bit of subversive, you know, a little mind game there, catching Mexecutioner out.
That was a nice use of some psychology to get your kill. Plenus, meanwhile, on the side where Landon Jordan was moving, he ended up rotating out before Landon peeked out. Could have had the free and easy kill onto the defender. Now he's giving his position away again. He's going to pre-fire the fence. Ponecake going to try and pre-fire back a little bit. None of it's going to be effective. The Sickness will find Stumpy Nub, and now it's all up to Plenus here. Right on top of the objective. He's still got 4 members of SMC to deal with. It is going to be very tough. They're enclosing him now. He's not going to have many options here. It's going to look like another Marsoc SMC round.
Yeah, he is going to have a hard time defending against 4. He does trade out with Landon, but unfortunately for Danglers, SMC do find themselves another offensive win. They're happy about that one.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I mean, but to be fair, all teams have been getting nothing but Marsoc rounds so far. So Danglers could do the very same thing, in fact, or depending on how that goes, we could even see our first cap of the night. I was kind of concerned that SMC was going to be getting their first cap of the night there on that last round.
Yeah, that would have been quite dangerous, but that was a great play. That Ponecake play really made me chuckle. But a great setup for him there to grab Mexecutioner and turn the tide a little bit heavier in their direction. It could have been a lot trickier to unseat 2 or 3 defenders in those positions, especially having wasted the frags early looking for those long range hits. I did correct the score, folks. I know it was a 3-0, but that was incorrect. It is 2-1 here in the SMC Danglers matchup as we are Still getting our way through round 1, map 1, or sorry, round 3, map 1. It has been a great series so far. It's exactly the kind of stuff I've expected, and I mean, when you start watching the higher tier teams, you really start to realize that the sort of advantage of Volk, the advantage of defending, quickly shifts into the favor of Marsoc. And it's a pretty deep scale. I mean, like, it starts probably somewhere in the mid ranks where like the scale starts to tilt heavily towards, you know, the Marsoc side of the house. So I love seeing it, but I feel like these are like the first 2 seasons, like season 7 and now season 8, where I'm seeing a lot more Marsoc victories than I'm seeing Volk victories, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's teams finally locking in how their team works, how to utilize it, and how to best communicate their needs to each other in the round to best, you know, help one another. Because, you know, it's because of that added communication. The coordination has doubled, if not tripled, over the last few seasons, as you've mentioned. And here we're already seeing some examples of that. SMC put out some pretty early pre-fire of some of the bush lanes there, 2 and 3, trying to stop any possible aggressive push from Danglers, as again, they are pretty well known for just kind of running right up in your face and shooting you as quickly as they can and then going for the cap. So SMC trying to hold that back, but we saw this kind of last time from Danglers, right? I mean, they pushed up, they got set, then they got their first kill, and everything just unfolded, and within a few seconds everything was over. We didn't even realize it.
Yeah, exactly. And that grenade almost finds Nintendo here. Luckily, he was under the awning.
Yeah.
But that could have been dangerous had there been no awning in that position. I think we've got to be careful here. SMC definitely well known in the league for their excellent grenade play. Stumpy looking for some purchase on maybe Landon is what he's trying to go for. He does not know he's there, but he is pre-firing some of the known positions, the fences, etc. So something we're seeing a lot from the Danglers here. Rybo taking some shots out onto Ponecake's position. Those do not land, and a grenade comes in just short to find Rybo. Could have been very dangerous, though.
The grenades are just at the wrong angle. They've got the right distance, just the wrong angle from where they're being thrown. Danglers trying their hardest to weed out the defenders. And unlike a lot of their pushes, I've seen a lot more grenades in their play here. Stumpy Nub going to find Mr. Beefy right on top of the objective. Soda and Ponecake are going to have to double up their efforts now on watching that, because if any more smokes exist, Ponecake now under some pressure from Cleanest. Stumpy Nub going to push up the support. Soda, though, with his eyes deadly trained, and no, Ryboman going to take a headshot on him, Executioner. That is not what the Danglers need.
No, definitely not. They were pushing the advantage. Nintendo does find Captain Soda and a nice little check nade for the porch, and now Ponecake, Landon, and Sickness, the only ones left on the north side of the street, are going to have to rotate to catch.
Sickness is hard on the rotation in the back street. Ponecake is going to find Cleanest, and Sickness should soon see Stumpy. Stumpy's out in the open, and yeah, there it is. Nintendo will get the revive on the Cleanest, but no, Sickness will find both of them, and it's all up to Ryboman now. The team killing son of a gun, Ryboman. He's got to do it all here. And he's going to find one, but instantly refragged by Ponecake, and SMC will find the first Volk round of the entire series and go up 3-1 here on Suburbia.
Yeah, that team kill definitely set them back quite a bit, not having that refrag opportunity at the end there. I mean, there were 2 defenders just asking for it after exposing themselves there, but yeah, great job by SMC Tactical to hold that defense. That lane 1 really found no purchase in pushing that lane. A key rotation by Sickness, able to catch them out quickly and puts them up by more than 1 point the first time in this series.
Yeah, it's been a really great matchup though so far. Seeing some great stuff there. A nice little, as you mentioned, the check nade from Nintendo on the Soda at that front porch. A great check against that defensive spot. Ponecake a little bit too unruly. He was able to take down Cleanness, which distracted Nintendo, taking his focus off the main push. Stumpy again got caught out with that rotation that you just talked about from Sickness. I mean, he was also kind of still out in the open, so he wasn't really behind any covers. kind of blame more than one issue for that. However, overall, the play was working. They were slowly starting to chisel away at SMC, and Stumpy's pick onto Mr. Beefy at that barricade behind the objective, I think really started to bring that to life. And then it all just fell apart. I think that team kill, I don't know, I think it just threw off the rhythm maybe.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done different there. I definitely would have disengaged lane 1, though. I think that's the getting out of there quickly after you've got, especially after you got that down on the porch. It's really the only use for lane 1. Obviously, that is where he'd like to camp from, but to rotate out, I think is the better play there. But either way, it's over, and we're into round 5. So we'll see how SMC Tactical does on this offensive round, if they can close this map out.
Try to identify a bunch if you can.
Yeah, Sickness talking about this objective. It is the South Garage. And they are going to be looking for these long-range picks. Rybo up in the window looking for Sickness here at Red Car. Just keeping an eye on lane 3.
I have a feeling we're going to see a grenade parade here at some point in this round, and it's going to be pretty successful on them Executioner and Plenus. Pretty common defensive spots that will be checked. Stumpy Nubs found a nice spot inside. It appears to look through and look out the window and use that advantage. He might be able to stop the grenades onto Plenus and Executioner, but it just depends on where they're going to be tossed from.
Yeah, one nade already falling short from Beefy. Not quite. It was the right angle, but not enough distance. Plenus watching this lane 1. Does call it out. I would be surprised to see SMC Tactical actually pushing it. Plenus looking for that nade.
Ooh, it's a good nade too, but just no one there to receive it.
And now Beefy a little bit more confident, but punished by Nintendo on that second follow-up nade. Is going to get that down. And now pushing up lane 2. Chucks a nade over towards Nintendo. That is! It finds him in the backyard.
Wow. Holy smokes, what a nade.
Excellent nade. Landon could catch Stumpy out here if he's not careful.
It's just, they're just throwing rocks at each other. Here, you take a grenade. No, you take a grenade. No, you take a grenade.
Yeah, every round has been something similar to that every single time. Now a little bit of slow time, so 2 members down. Landon finds Beefy on the revive there. It's going to be a little trickier for Stumpy to pick up Nintendo.
Stumpy's dead. Oh, the trade. Thank God for that, because that would be a wasted move. Plenus will find Mr. Beefy, and that'll even things out. Thankfully, nobody's still rotating back to get Nintendo, though they are in a tough position where they really can't. So Nintendo doing what he can as a down member of his team to just give call-outs, give information, and let his team make the kills.
And we'll take our first look here at the new laser functionality. It's an interesting little spectate object we got. We'll take a look at the viewpoints of some of these players. Be interesting to see what they can and cannot see through smoke. Kind of what I'm hoping for here. Getting a little idea. Captain Soda does seem to spot out, or actually, no, he doesn't. Doesn't catch Rybo's window position. Shots coming out from Sickness, checking the fence. Not gonna find anything there either. They're really worried about that fence. That is.
Yeah, they do not trust that fence.
It is 2 players on that fence. They do not like it. Smoke coming out right onto Plenus and Max.
Not really gonna do much. It'll stop Max from maybe getting the first.
Bit of a bug here for there. It is. I found the smoke. It is very directional on my screen. Captain Soda does push the tank just on the other side of Mex and Plenus. The sound obfuscated by the smoke. Here he comes around. Executioner does spot him out. Landon taking shots onto Rybo on the upstairs. Doesn't find him. Plenus finds Sickness as he makes another approach through lane 1.
Double tap him. Not double tapping. That's not going to be good. Sickness going to be giving callouts all day. There goes the double tap. Finally, Plenus does get the kill. Finally, I'll do Sickness, and it's all up to Landon Jordan from here. 1v3. Nintendo finally has bled out. No more free callouts for the Danglers, but I think they've got a pretty good position. They're going to catch Landon as he crosses the street. He's got 2 minutes left. Plenty of time here from his position, but he's going to have to do some weird dancing to get around this Danglers defense from here.
Yeah, this is not going to be an easy push for him, especially with Mex and Plenus sort of covering all the different angles. Quick on the refrag in that position. The nade is going to be the thing that he needs. But as I understand it, he does not currently have one. I can't really see his chest, but it doesn't look like he's got one. I believe he used his to down Nintendo in the backyard there, so.
Should be not be using your camera godlike features to stare at players' chests. No, it's gross.
It's for science. I did it for science.
For science.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll allow it then.
Everyone knows if it's for science, then it's okay. And I'm taking a few shots on Aribo's position. Not going to find anything. But he's got to move. 60 seconds left. 3 members of the defense remaining. And this could be, you know, to our eyes, the worst approach that you could make. But
yeah, you're like literally walking into the mouth of the dragon. Riboman should see this push out here from the sandbags as he takes a peek, but no, he turns around. Landon will find Mex. He's going to turn him. Plenus turns to see it, but he doesn't. Almost lets him by, but Ribo and Plenus finish off Landon Jordan, and Danglers stay alive as they come back. It's now 3-2 here on map 1.
Yeah, Plenus definitely carrying the Danglers there to victory. He's got 8 kills on the series so far, more than any individual SMC player. But overall, a pretty set score line between these two teams. No one really, I mean, yeah, I guess it's pretty even in terms of kill spread. So everybody doing their part.
Plenus is going hammer right now with his 8 kills. Oh my goodness. But I mean, you've got 3 members of SMC, all with 5 kills. That's a pretty impressive grouping of kills. And, you know, the only thing I think that went really wrong with Landon's push there at the end was that he took a shot that wasn't a sure thing. Like when he fired onto, I believe it was Riboman up in the windows, he took this long volley of shots and it wasn't a clear shot. Like he wasn't guaranteed to get the hit. He took it and then, I mean, I don't understand. And it still kind of baffles me that why Plenus was still looking towards lane 1 when they heard the shots ring out from right there. But, you know, in either way, he got the kill onto Mex, and, you know, we all saw how that ended up. But taking that non-guaranteed short shot there, a little risky for Landon. And, I mean, he's a great shooter, so for him to have missed that shot was already big enough. But, yeah, I think that's kind of what helped even things out.
Yeah, definitely what Danglers needed to stay up in this series. And now we'll see if they can put together an offense. They could tie them up or potentially take the map away from SMC, although I can't imagine that they would be unprepared. But we'll see exactly what happens here in round 6.
Yeah, this will be it for Danglers. If they cannot convert on this Marsoc round, SMC will take the first map. We'll go on to map 2 to see who takes what.
Free Fire comes out, gives Nintendo a haircut. He has to hit the deck just not to be caught out by that. Pokecake looking for a lane 2 kill. Does not find that either. Nade comes out, does find Ribo, however. Pokecake is going to be hearing that death sound, so we should be seeing a res come out. Hopefully not a second nade. Nintendo finds the refrag, though, on Pokecake, and Ribo is up, which puts Danglers up in the man advantage.
Executioner's got a spot held over here in lane 4 by the bus. He's not going to allow anyone to peek that lane 4 corner to look out, but he's not made any more forward progression. It's okay, though, because the rest of his team's still a little bit far back from him. Sounds like Riboman's actually returned to his old ways and started rocking the 249 again, which is impressive because he's starting to get a little too comfy for my liking with those rifles. More smokes coming out now from the Danglers.
Yeah, but they need to capitalize on the smokes. I mean, these positions are almost identical. Yeah. Landon behind the tank, Sickness behind the barriers there in the front yard, Beefy upstairs, and Captain Soda in the corner by the trash can. Landon Jordan with the nades again does find Plenus in the backyard.
Quick immediate revive from Riboman, but as I was just about to mention, Executioner about to walk into Sickness's line of sight, and he does. Sickness picks up the frag onto that SMC. Tactical now with the man advantage. It's 4-3 here in SMC's favor. Danglers just barely hanging on, and Landon Jordan takes a crack shot at Riboman from the tank, and that's going to start to pretty much put the nail in the coffin here for Danglers on Suburbia.
Yeah, they've got quite a bit of work to do, but 4 minutes to do it in, so not necessarily out of the woodwork yet. We have seen Plinus do a good amount of work.
Nintendo definitely just saw Captain Soda here across the street. He's going for the nade. It looks good. It got him.
The call out comes out, but Captain Soda's going to be feeding this information straight on to the rest of the members of SMC. So now it's a 2v3. Landon and Sickness still not out of the woods yet. Plinus finds Landon. And we're quickly into a 2v2. Beefy with the quick refrag onto Plinus, though, hearing those shots and the call-outs from Captain Soda. He's going to be able to dial in and find the kill, and now it's a 1v2. Just one member of the offense remaining. What will Nintendo be able to do here? He needs to back out of the sightline of Captain Soda here. Needs to add a little bit of surprise, the element of surprise to his approach. It's not going to come from this lane. 3 minutes to work with. Yeah, I mean, this is the time to go lane 4 or lane 3, I think. This is the time to really surprise with your offensive positioning.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He made a good call there by running back towards lane 1. Had he run back towards the center house from where he was currently positioned, it would have been a bad call because Soda would have been all over it. He would have seen it. He would have called it.
Okay, he's playing basketball now with his smoke. He's got to take this seriously. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left.
It's
Man,
he's a dangler. What are you?
I know. If he gets to that objective and there's 3 seconds left, you know, and he doesn't get it.
He's a dangler. He'll cap it. It's
we'll
cool.
know. We'll know exactly why he didn't cap it.
But no, I mean, I think I'm not surprised, and I think the Danglers are quite relieved that the last person alive is Nintendo. He does have quite the reputation for clutching rounds for the Danglers and even saving their behinds on certain maps. So it is a good thing that he is probably the last one alive. Sickness, meanwhile, does get the final res onto Soda. That's not going to be good. That'll be a third weapon now instead of just the words of his intel. Now Nintendo's going to have to take down another shooter once again, and he's not going to have the grenade to be able to do it this time.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough push to make, and that fence can be real tricky if you don't pre-fire it. Which I can't imagine he would do in this scenario, so this could be an easy kill and easy map win for SMC.
He's waiting on that peek in the window. He knows someone's up there. Oh, and there's Beefy in the window, and he doesn't see it. But Beefy sees him, and he'll take him down. SMC Tactical will take the first map, and it'll be 4-2. But a great overall bout between these two heavyweights in the North American division.
Yeah, great series overall. Plinus finishing that up with 9 kills. Landon Sickness finding 6. Beefy and Pwnecake with 5. A very good series played between the two teams so far. I'm excited to see what the next map is going to be. Any predictions, Sleepy? Any thoughts on what it might be?
No. Quarantine, maybe? Yeah. And literally, as I say that, the map changes.
The map changes indeed to Quarantine. Quarantine 1 is going to be where we are taking our guns, our setup. That's where we're going to go duke it out for a little bit. I'm excited for this one. I don't think it's any secret to anyone in the league or anybody who watches these casts that this is one of my favorite maps in general.
Yeah, same here.
Excited to be seeing... Oh, actually, I have... There we go. Just making sure I do all the right things on my side so everything looks nice and clean. It's one of those days where no matter how hard you try, things are just not 100%. But you know what is 100% is Quarantine 1. I'm excited for this map. Lots of long-range engagements. We're going to be using a lot of the old laser sight we were showing off there in Suburbia, so we can see where a lot of these players are spending their time looking. This is one of those maps that I think it really benefits from because there's just so much you're able to see. There's so much elevation. There's so many nooks and crannies to check. And real big thank you to the Downpour devs for throwing that into the casting mode for us and letting us play around with it. We do appreciate it. Everybody filing in. I wonder if we're going to see any substitutions here in map 2. So far, looks like the same members are in on both sides. So I would be surprised until there is a deciding map. I would be surprised to see anybody swapped out. I believe in the Legionnaires game, once SMC had the series locked down, they did rotate in Trip, as well as Miracle Dev, I believe. So both of the newer players got some plate time there in a league match. And I imagine we'll be seeing the same here, maybe depending on which team takes this map. Maybe some Kitten Mittens, maybe some more Trip and Miracle Dev. We will see.
Well, I do believe Executioner is going to be stepping out for this map. I don't know, maybe just not feeling it, not feeling like he was really getting it done. I don't know, but it sounds to me like maybe Llewellyn is on his way in, so we'll be seeing a switch out from the old dugout on the Dangler side as they change the map over to Quarantine, and of course this will be Dangler's map choice. A bit risky to me. I mean, Danglers definitely no slouches on this map at all, but SMC Tactical are also quite strong on it. So I think after losing map 1 to me, I would have called for us to go to Downfall and not Quarantine, because Quarantine is risking a lot. These guys are good at Quarantine, especially this OG lineup. You've got, Sickness in there, who's a great capper, very sneaky. Beefy and Landon, who are great shooters. Soda, a great flanker and power LMG player. And Ponecake is just, well, he's Ponecake and he's there and he gets stuff done every now and then when you want him to. So, I don't know. This could be Danglers kind of playing into SMC's strength here towards the series, what could be the series decider.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I don't know that Q1 is one of those maps that too many teams struggle on. I mean, I don't want to say like, oh, it's a map anybody can be good at. It's not really what I'm trying to articulate.
You elitist.
It's really just that.
You're bad at Quarantine, are you? Well, you just get out of here.
It's got so much going for it in terms of approaches, and I'm speaking specifically of the new Quarantine, which has a few changes in it. A bit of changes to the landscape and some of the angles you're able to take. And I just feel like it's still an even playing ground. Now that we're playing on this reloaded update, there has been quite a few changes to the game as a result of that. So I still think that even maps that have not changed a lot, even something so seemingly trivial as lighting changes can really affect, visibility on a map. It can affect the potential positions Volk can take based on where shadows would be. I mean, it's a lot of, it's a lot of interesting play that I think is untapped yet early in the season. I don't think teams have really explored it that much. So I would be surprised to see a blowout here in any direction. But potentially you are correct. SMC may be secretly happy that there is a choice here for Quarantine.
Well, it looks like Danglers finally got their 5th man in. Llewellyn has joined the lobby now, so all 10 players are back in the studio here with us. You could say, we're not even in the studio technically.
In our minds, in our mind palace. This is a studio with lights and interns I can boss around. Yeah, isn't it great? I'm imagining them getting coffee for me now, and I am loving it. Loving the power trip. But it doesn't matter what's going on in my head, because on the screen we got some stuff going on. We got round 1 of map 2 kicking off here.
Interesting. And pretty difficult for a spawn here for the Danglers to have to utilize. Got your far east spawn. very open. They're going to have to go north or south to get across the street, or they could push it straight up the center, but for some reason, I just don't think they're going to try that against SMC.
Yeah, I don't think that would be the appropriate push for this. I mean, this is one of the longer range runs you'd have to make to an objective on Quarantine 1. So I would expect them to take it slow, try to feel out where the defenders might be, and then set up their push towards, I would say, that's sort of the middle timer. So maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. See them start to push in, and we're seeing Plenus and Llewellyn here getting set up, looking for these defensive positions from a safer spot. The rest of the Danglers still waiting to get set up, too, still in the northeast there. And I wonder if they're worried about rooftop.
Doesn't seem that they're too concerned about it.
I mean, the longer that you wait not to go towards that rooftop, you know, truck stop area in the north there, the longer that the defense has to set up if they go there. Obviously, taking a look at the overhead map, we know that SMC has decided to pretty much stay entirely on the objective and not traverse to the north, which, again, is an interesting choice here because the rooftop can be so powerful in terms of stopping the offense from making that approach, but opting out of taking that. And 4.5 minutes in, we've still got a clear dividing line between the offense and the defense. No one's really pushed up one way or the other. This doesn't, I mean, you know, I can't say anything, I'm not a Dangler, but this doesn't feel like Danglers to me. Does this feel like Danglers to a Dangler?
No, I was gonna say this feels a little like they're in their heads. It doesn't seem to me like they're playing with the aggressiveness and confidence that we would see out of them normally. I think we're seeing some well coordinated attempted pushes, but I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know. I haven't been in the practices. I haven't been in the scrims they've been doing lately, so I don't know if they've been trying to structure things a bit more than when I was rostered. But yeah, it definitely doesn't feel like the Danglers. And against SMC, I feel like they really need to go back to their instinctual play style, which is just that hard and fast aggressiveness. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, the setup is looking good. We'll have to see if the execution comes through.
Yeah, 3 minutes left on the clock. Starting to set up now, starting to get up towards rooftop. And the defense really doesn't have a whole lot of angles onto their positions just yet. Sickness, the only one watching South Street there. Captain Soda could catch out Llewellyn if he's not careful. That sightline is available, but I'm just not sure that it would work out the way that he would want. I mean, giving away that position would be quite dangerous. And Sickness, really, he really needs a respirator because he is just absolutely surrounded in smoke. And this is the thing we usually see before the Danglers rush comes through, is the volley of smoke pouring in. Plenus taking some shots out in Sickness's general direction, but not going to find him as he's tucked inside the building. Mr. Beefy almost catching out Stumpy Nub on the cross there. The shots ringing out on both sides. Stumpy's going to be the winner of that trade, and the down goes the way of Danglers. Their first man advantage. Stumpy looking for the confirm, not able to find it just yet. And now Llewellyn looking to take Sickness down in center burning if possible. Plenus is the one that's going to do it, though. A quick pick from him on the South Street. We'll bring it down to 3 members of the defense remaining, and none of them really at the OBJ. I mean, the gas station's really the only cover they've got here. Ponecake watching for anybody coming out of center burning, but Llewellyn is going to capitalize on that peek and find himself another headshot. Now Landon rotating to the OBJ, trying to stop a cap. Landon finds Stumpy as he makes the approach, but Llewellyn's on the wall capping. Landon's not checking this, and Danglers punch the code in, grab themselves 2 at the start of round 1, map 2. What a great play there. What a great read by Llewellyn in terms of the defense being occupied there. He just runs up, says, you know what? I don't need to stoop to your level. Just go ahead and punch in the code. grab themselves 2 points, start quarantine off right. And a great play there by the Danglers. You know, we doubted them. That's the problem. We as casters doubted them, and now it shows. We're able to close that one out, not just with a win, but with a cap. And an impressive one at that. Now we'll see what SMC is able to put together. I'm wondering if we'll see a similar speed, or if they're going to opt to play a little bit more aggressive on this objective.
Sorry about that, folks. Had a few issues on my end there. Thank you, Noman, for taking that in, but it looks like Danglers didn't have any trouble taking care of that one.
No, they did not, in fact, have any trouble. It was a great cap by Llewellyn there. The sub from map 1 coming in from Executioner. And now we're going to be watching SMC's attempt at that same objective in round 2 here.
Oh, but they get the fast spawn.
Hey, Soda, you too.
They do get that quick spawn.
Basically, I'll stop anything that has teeth.
So they're looking to set up a perimeter around the defense, make sure they do not leave a particular area. Some early shots coming out from Ponecake, finding Llewellyn inside of center burning courtyard is going to quickly tilt the scales in SMC's favor.
Nah, he was out in the middle of the street.
Oh, that was the street.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Never mind. Not quite as impressive as I thought it was, but
Yeah. I'd love to give Ponecake the benefit of the doubt on that one, but that was a full-on open cross. But because I was wondering how it happened myself, I was like, wait, where did he?
Yeah, that would have been a great shot off the top of the hill. Well, you know, you can pick somebody on that wall from just up on the hill. Hey, Sleepy, your dangler is showing. You just dunk it in real quick.
Oh.
Yeah, it was right.
I mean, I'm going to be completely 100% honest with everybody. I'm wearing my Danglers t-shirt at the moment. It wasn't even like a conscious thought. Oh my God, and that grenade from Stumpy Nub takes out Landon and Captain Soda. Landon's still going to be able to be revived, but Soda is gone. Beefy able to possibly get this res, but he may go down trying to go for it. Sickness gets Stumpy. And my God, but that grenade. The grenade.
The grenade, and I was there for all of it. It was a great throw from Stumpy there. The refrag does come out. Beefy does pick Landon up.
Lena's going to be on his guard. He's got attention towards the smokes that just came out from the opposite side of the building. Frag will come out here on the west side, but he's still not taking it seriously. He's got 2 guys here and 2 excellent shooters as well. It's Beefy and Landon. Oh my God! Oh! Clean is saved by their crossbars on this building. The grenade from Beefy almost threading the needle through the window.
Yeah, we'll see if he's able to clean him up. Landon's gonna find him instead. Quick headshot on the Plenus is gonna turn this into a 4v2. Last 2 members of Danglers looking to hold it. Nintendo holding this tight angle here, watching that northwest. Should be able to find potentially one. Rybo finds Ponecake on his approach through Tank Courtyard. And now if Nintendo is quick on the shot, he should be able to catch a cross from Coach.
Ooh, he's got a nice grenade going over the plane.
Oh, split the difference, right?
Yeah.
Not quite where he wanted it. Both players just outside of the range of it. Could have been a great nade, though.
And if Landon would have been hit at all by that, he would have been dead because he'd already been downed by the first grenade in from Stumpy.
Correct. Flash coming out. Looks like the cross is going to come out, and he's punished quickly by both Nintendo and Rybo. A quick down, but Nintendo getting a little careless there. Landon Jordan able to find that kill, and now it's a 2v1. Just 1 res available to confirm. Going to be pretty tricky here through all this obfuscation.
Sickness might be able to sneak right in under Ryboman's nose from here. He's right at the airplane fuselage. He's just waiting and being patient. I don't even think Nintendo spotted him Riboman's focused on that guy in the west. Here comes a grenade. That's going to check. Oh, I'm surprised that doesn't finish off Nintendo. Riboman will find Landon Jordan, and now it's just Sickness on the OBJ. But Riboman's not checking it. I don't know why he's not checking. Oh, because it's across the street, and that's not where the objective is.
Yep, exactly. He is looking for that other cross. Now Ribo coming out. Sickness right outside. Misses the shots, and now it's a 1v1. Duking it out. Missing the shot.
Why does he keep going? Oh!
Ribo rushes out. Finds Sickness. Looks like Sickness is gun jammed. I don't really know what happened there.
Did they add gun jams in this update?
No, definitely not. But that is what it looked like. He was checking his weapon for something. I'm not sure what in the middle of that firefight you could have been looking for. Maybe a flash? Maybe a grenade? That's what he was looking for on his chest. But
no idea. And I was getting ready to chastise Riboman for getting so aggressive on the re-peek to re-peek to re-peek push. Like, who in their right minds would typically do that, right? Like, if you were anyone, you'd take the peek. Okay, you missed your shots, right? You're gonna kind of hole up in a kind of an odd corner. You don't want to take one of the more obvious ones, but you know, and wait for them to come to you, because at that point, they already know where you're at, and you're in a box. What are you gonna do, right? So, for him to re-peek and then push off of the last re-peek and get the kill, completely unorthodox, but it works for him. Riboman saving Danglers there from utter doom.
yeah, that was an interesting play, but a good one nonetheless. Glad that they were able to pick up a little bit of momentum there. Now we're seeing them tear through Q1 in a big way, and I mean, this is the stop SMC needs to make. There's still a lot of room here for Danglers to maneuver, but SMC has to stop their push here, because they'll take that momentum into map 3, potentially put up a bit of a struggle versus SMC on whatever that third map is going to be.
Well, we don't know just yet, but we'll maybe soon find out. Danglers looking good here to possibly do a 4-0 sweep on map 2. The series would then be tied, but we'll find out here in 5 seconds, as SMC will soon leave the spawn box for the West Garage objective. They'll be waiting on the Danglers. I'm sorry, no, it's the gas station objective, because Sleepy's a moron and can't read his mini-map today. And the Danglers will start up north. We'll see. Can they convert yet another successful Marsoc push in today's game?
SMC Tactical setting up again, very close to the objective. One floater heading out all the way northwest in that little crevasse, little alleyway behind the building and the fence.
Crevasse.
Yeah, right. I went
You
David
also eat
Attenborough on
croissants,
everybody.
don't you?
Pwnecake eats croissants.
Croissants.
Yeah, but the defense setting up pretty tight on the OBJ, something you would definitely expect from this positioning. Ribo does catch Beefy moving into his position there.
One's far west, far southwest behind those buildings out there on the Hesco's far west by gas station.
Way out to the west. He's going to use that kind of typical western sliver to peek through, try and get some kills. I don't know. It might catch a few of them, but then he's going to be stuck in a cross or on a push or rotation back and might have to push through a very open lane. And I've seen a lot more people using that very far western section of the map for those sliver kills, but to me, it just doesn't seem to be worth it, right? You might get one before they finally rotate one up to the roof and get the kill onto you, or you end up having to rotate back because your other teammates are going down and you're way off the objective. Now you have to run through 20 to 50 meters of open space, and then you're just another, it's a turkey shoot. Pwnecake, though, he'll turkey shoot onto Riboman, and he'll find the first kill here in the round. Not looking so great for Danglers just yet.
I haven't learned my lesson. I gotta stop leaving the camera next to Plenus.
Yeah, if you're gonna follow any member of the Danglers, it should not be Plenus. I will say that.
Yeah. But I do appreciate Plenus's temporary commentary there on his teammate, as SMC does find one member of the Danglers.
Good smoke play coming out there. Not gonna direct the way he wants it to. But Good placement for what should have been a street cross. He could still actually make it. There's not a lot of pressure on that particular crossing. Landon again way out there in the west, but
I
he's
don't
not
think
gonna see
Landon
anything.
really has
Yeah,
an
he can't.
angle.
No,
I mean,
yeah, he can. They'll be able to get right by Landon. I'm telling you, Landon's going to get caught out if things start to go the way of the Danglers in these kill trades. Landon's going to get caught with his pants down way off the objective, having to run in. And I don't know how fast the Danglers capped that last round, but
very fast.
yeah, so if they get in close, Landon's going to be way too far out. And to be fair, Mr. Beefy's way back there too. Granted, he's a lot closer to the gas station than Landon, but that's still quite a hike if they come in from this eastern side.
Stumpy is all the way through to burning now. Pwnecake may be caught unawares here. I don't think he's expecting anybody to be underneath him. Landon, not sure the call out came out. I would be expecting Pwnecake to be prepared on his backside here, but it's not looking like that's going to be the case.
All day.
And the finish comes out. Stumpy grabs himself a kill, and now Sickness and Captain Soda need to be the ones covering the burning approach.
Sickness in an interesting position. He will be able to fire through those portholes if he sees a grenade going to come over.
That
Quite
is
sure
very
how
close.
that. Not quite sure how that doesn't down Sickness, but you know, it is what it is. It was thrown a bit far, so Venus is going to find that long route through to Captain Soto, who was on a defensive rotation. Nintendo finds Landon Jordan in the west. Now it's just down to the last two here. Sickness will find Llewellyn, but Stumpy Nub should now have an idea of where Sickness is. He's going to try and use some elevation here to his advantage. He does still have two teammates coming up on his sixth, though, as well. Sickness going to try for a really risky rotation here. Mr. Beefy and Nintendo will trade, and Stumpy not looking quite at the right moment as he doesn't see Sickness cross through the opening here on the OBJ. Beefy now going to be giving call-outs to Sickness as he is still alive, just in a down state.
And now Plenus and Stumpy will have to work together to find a way through Sickness's remaining defense, especially with Beefy making these call-outs. It's going to be very tricky for them to make a surprising move. Plenus just missing Sickness there on the corner. And now the shots come out, do give him away, so Plenus rushes the corner, but Sickness is going to find him, and it's a 1v1. Stumpy on the street gets caught out by Sickness as well, and SMC hang on here in map 2 with a very nice cleanup by Sickness. You don't even have to say it, Sleepy. I already know what's in your head. But
a good round though by SMC. They did manage to secure that objective, and you know, I think kind of getting capped on the first time around probably hurt a little bit. So
yeah, I mean, the defense there was working. Really, the only thing that was against them was Landon's positioning, because he was out there and he really didn't do anything from that position. He didn't catch Stumpy making the cross. He didn't end up with a kill. He didn't stop the northwest approach. You know what I mean? Like, there was a lot of things that he could have been utilized for closer to the OBJ and close that round out potentially a lot earlier.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, still going the way of SMC is, I think, a stroke of luck in this case, as Danglers still looking very strong. We saw them pick up basically 3 kills in 10 seconds to set up their final push there. Just a little bit of lack of coordination between Stumpy and Plenus is going to make them take a round of loss there, but we're still in a 3v1, 3-1 score line in the second map. So a lot of potential here for SMC to still bring it back.
Yep.
I don't know, are you expecting a comeback here?
No, I can't say I'd expect a comeback here. I'm not saying it's not possible, because SMC, again, a very capable and talented team. But I think Danglers realized that, like, hey, we need to just close this map out now, defend this objective, and end this so we can go into the next one. Because the longer they stick on this map, the harder it's going to be for them to get the advantage on the next map. Because the next map's going to be SMC's pick, and I'm thinking Cargo. So, yeah.
Yeah, Cargo's going to be a fun one if that is the final choice. Between these two teams,
I guarantee. I will almost. No, I'm not gonna say it because people will try and give it pay money, and I don't have money like that. But anyways, yeah. Ooh, Soda will find Nintendo though on a push. He'll go down. He's not dead though.
Shots coming out onto Llewellyn and Rybo. Llewellyn getting lucky there. Almost gets caught crossing the street, able to push back into the burning objective, and Captain Soda finds the confirm onto Nintendo. Landon Jordan now down by Rybo, though, on that long peek from burning to white car.
Ooh, Soda's gonna find Cleanest now. Another Dangler down by Soda and his dirty LMG tactics. Llewellyn will find Pone Cake as well. So Rybo Man and Llewellyn doing quite well in their positioning, but somebody's got to find Cleanest, and it's gonna probably have to be Stumpy Nub, who's now in that far west positioning that I said is garbage, but yet everyone still wants to use. And by the way, just so everyone knows, if I say that a particular position that you've taken is not good, it's nothing personal. If it were Pants or Arsenic or Otto or Thunder or Stumpy or Plenus or Mexicution or any of those people that I know very well, I would still say it's a dumb position because tactically it's just not smart.
I thought I saw one
So
in that.
don't come to me in my DMs and say, why'd you say my position? It's not your position, it's just the position. It's not good.
If you play it well, change our minds. But
yes, please change my mind and show me how it is a great position, and I'd be happy to take that back. But
Fuck. What a...
no, there are just certain. I mean, there's risks and rewards, right? It's really just a question of risk and reward. It's a huge risk to be that far away from the objective, but the reward is you're too far away from anybody to really be able to hit you. And Stumpy and Rybo, while I'm talking, finding two members of the offense,
and get the res,
evening this up. Yeah, Captain Soda does come back up, but a very nice little set of return fire there is gonna find 2 kills for the Danglers.
One in gas station now.
Just one.
Cake's back up too. That's not going to be good news because I don't think Rybo Man or anyone's even looking this direction anymore. I think they're all mostly focused north and west. Pone Cake should have a free shot on Rybo's head here just about any moment now.
Well, it's going to be a tough angle from the floor. He is going to have to stand up to try to find that shot, but it looks like he was just looking to make the cross to the south, and now he could get punished here, as there are some defenders watching this cross, and we should be seeing some gunfire coming out here. Pone Cake using the smoke to cross.
Just walking with it, yeah.
And it's invisible on my screen. It's invisible on my screen. There it is. Now I see it. Pone Cake makes the toss, runs through the remainder of the smoke, and does make it successfully to this
Wow,
south
Rybo
side.
Man gave up on it right before Pone Cake threw it and was completely exposed. That is incredible. Just a lack of timing, man. And here we go. Pone Cake's getting pretty close now. Stumpy Nub rotated back onto the objective. He's going to be trying to watch for that angle, but if he keeps moving so antsy, he might end up walking right out into Pone Cake's line of sight.
Pone Cake's still just watching behind him. He's not actually watching towards the objective.
Ooh, Rybo Man and Beefy are going to collide here very shortly. I don't know if Rybo heard this in the center, but Beefy is all over him. Yeah, he's definitely aware somebody's out there. He's watching the doorway now. Beefy looking for the kill. Rybo Man perched and ready. Stumpy Nub going to throw a grenade in the south. Will it connect? It does connect with Pone Cake. The shootout in the middle, and Beefy wins that. Rybo Man goes down. SMC Tactical now staying with the same man advantage. It's locked up. It's 2-2 here. 2 minutes left in the round, and we're looking at a similar situation to what we had last time, though. Blenis will pick up Captain Soda in the west. Now it's a 2v1. And Soda is going to be completely out of the ball game. At this point, it's just Beefy left, and he's going to be coming from the same direction Stumpy did in the last round. It should end the same way the last round did. However, you just never know. Here comes a grenade in from Plenus. Just too far. However, Beefy will stay alive. Both defenders, though, aware. Plenus should see him. He's out in the open. No one checking it. No, he might not have that sightline from the car just yet. Now he sees it, and there are the shots. Danglers take down Beefy, and they are going to take map number 2. Noman, we're going into map 3 for the series decider. That excites me. That's the second cast I've seen today go into map 3 for the win.
And a fantastic series between the two teams in general. I mean, they've just been playing their absolute hearts out. So Glad we get to see more intense action. You know, there's a little part of me that dies when a team wins 2 maps in a row because the third one just never feels like both teams are really trying.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm really excited to see an actual like a nail biter here between these two teams.
Sure.
But we are definitely eating our words in terms of Quarantine being an SMC favorite there.
That's true. That's very true. This one though, I don't know who to give it to. I think SMC's grenades are more on point than Danglers, which is going to end up winning them this map because again I called it. And
Cargo is the map Sleepy's talking about. Cargo is the map we're going to be going to here, and I don't know. I don't know who to pick. I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be a real, crapshoot. Just a real crapshoot all over the place.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Triple Nipple's gonna get his rounds in today. Sorry, True. You're gonna have to stay on the bench today. They're gonna have to keep the guys in here.
Yeah, no kitten mittens either. No itty bitty kitty mitties coming out for the old Danglers there either. So not going to be seeing anybody new fielded, but we are going to be seeing some amazing Onward action as the teams are all ready to go. Everybody's readied up. Everybody's in the match. We're loading in. Let's go. Round one.
You also know they're taking this game very seriously because they have used those 1.5-minute round timers to their fullest almost every time this game.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a serious matchup. I mean, these are 2 top tier, top 8 teams that we expect to see this kind of action from. This is definitely, I don't want to say par for the course, but it's par for the course. And Stumpy finding Captain Soda on a quick peek there right off the start. Plenus with a quick frag onto Landon. SMC bleeding members very quickly. The nade coming out. Plenus not going to find anyone. Ponecake now making his approach to the center. A little synchronized nade throw there from Stumpy, and Rybo does find Ponecake to confirm not quite coming through.
I think I have to take back what I said about Danglers and their grenades.
Plenus confirms those 2 kills, and now it's 5 Danglers and 1 SMC, but it's not enough. BP goes down to Plenus, and Danglers come out the gate speedy with a 40-second cargo round.
What? I think the only things I said in that whole round were, ooh!
Yeah, Plenus.
I was gonna make a comment about how they weren't using shields on the SMC side like you would commonly see on this map, and then just grenade and kill, and I'm like, ooh!
Ooh, ah, ooh, ee.
I need to put that on a soundboard now, just ooh.
Now, it's a great series of nades. I hope somebody clips Stumpy and Rybo throwing the nade at the same. No, because they threw like almost in unison. Like their hands moved at the same time. The grenades flew at the same speed. It was pretty creepy. But yeah, great series there. Plenus able to pick up 4 of those 5 kills. I believe one of them was a dirty steal of another player's kill. A down from Stumpy's nade, but still a very good series by the Danglers. 40 seconds, exactly the type of speed that we're used to on these short maps between these 2 teams, but more specifically from the Danglers. That aggressive play style really coming out now.
Yeah, now they seem confident, right? Like they got that map under their belt. They're no longer on the back foot. They're feeling the momentum, they're feeling the confidence. Like now they're playing like Danglers again. Stumpy got very aggressive on that defensive push out there. I'm just really surprised that defensive round went so quickly towards the Danglers' favor. Now let's see if they can do something similar on the offensive side.
Absolutely, round 2 starting off, and now we're seeing the shield play from Stumpy. Something I feel like I haven't seen in quite a while in some of the Danglers matches.
Hot pre-fire coming in from Mr. Beefy and Ponecake on the eastern side of the map there. A grenade coming out towards the center. Wow, just a little overthrown in the cargo box there by the red smoke, gonna block Plenus from taking that one. Great air burst otherwise, though. Stumpy Nub, Cleanest now the point man on the verge of contact with the enemy defense. No one very aggressive, though. Soda and Pwnecake moving around a lot. Sickness, Landon, and Beefy, however, quite stationary, not giving away too much with audible cues. Soda pushing up, though, here. He's going to take a peek. Will he peek this door? I think Cleanest will be ready for it if he does. Yeah, here comes the peek and the trade instead. Soda more prepared than I give him credit for.
Seems to be a common theme for you today, Sleepy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Underestimating everybody.
What are you? I'm walking here.
Nintendo throws a very nice nade, just a little shy of Pwncake's position, but Pwnecake doing the old down call again, and I believe Nintendo is making the calls to say that he was in fact down when he is not. Sneaky little Pwnecake, and not down. But you know who's down is Landon. Stumpy throws another great nade from the center and finds the kill here. He pushes up into the middle, finds Sickness. Now it's a 4v2, 1 res. Rybo making the peek, does the confirm on Landon.
Good call there. He went for the confirm, not trying to go for the guy shooting. There's the grenade. That's a definite insta-kill. Llewellyn's on the cap, but no, it's going to get stopped by Pwnecake. He's the last man left. Stumpy and Ryboman could go in for the cap here. I don't know. It's going to all come down to utility. Do they have the utility to make the cap here? Stumpy could definitely use the shield and get the cap, and that's no question. It's a matter of do they have the utility to cover themselves. Pwnecake going to turn his back completely on the objective. What is that about? That little bit of time, had the Danglers chose to press there, could have been enough, and now he's going to do it again. It's not bad that he's doing it. It's fine. He just has to speed up that check. If he doesn't, the Danglers can cross in that amount of time. They can find themselves a good hiding spot behind that green box, for example. Ooh, a nice use of flare in case he's using night vision. Here's the smoke now. Pwncake's going to push up. He's going to try and get aggressive. Yeah, here he comes now. There it is. Ooh, is Rybo going to try and cap from here? Yep, there it is. The tablet's out. He's right next to Pwnecake. Will he choose to go for the cap still? Oh, he could have.
But the kills instead are going to find Danglers their round to win.
Ooh, that was close. Pwnecake almost got capped on literally like 3 feet from the opponent.
Yeah, that was an interesting play, but not surprising. It's, you know, really seems very common to me for players to take up that position. It affords you probably the most visibility of anybody trying to access that objective. So the right spot, maybe just a little slow on the checks, and in the end, Danglers pushing that man advantage through and getting themselves a second round win here in map 3. Plowing forward, looking to keep that momentum from quarantine going, like I'd said, and looking for the series here. And this next objective, you know, this one I think is one of the fastest capped objectives in Onward today. It's this green container on the south side, dead center, and just the opportunity for nades and smokes and rushes.
Oh, rush caps are very popular, especially for both of these teams. I've seen clips where both of these teams have capped or taken down an entire team on a Marsoc push in incredible speed. So I'm going to keep my eye on on Sickness here, because he's the one who has these odd routes that are seemingly unnoticeable, and he gets right onto the objective without anyone seeing it. So that's who I'm following.
Oh, the smokes are coming in force, making it hard to cast. Cleanest finds Beefy. Pwnecake with a quick refrag. Pwnecake finds Ryboman as well, and Sickness is through already. He's going to be looking for Stumpy on this right side. He needs to clear at least one more out. Nintendo potentially is going to be that one. Sickness finds one. Stumpy gets cleared by Landon, and now Sickness is on the other side, but Captain Soda finds Llewellyn and grabs themselves a Marsoc win here to stay alive in the series.
Yeah, when I saw Nintendo go down, I thought Sickness was going to be in there so fast with that tablet out. I thought it was over. I thought it was going to be a tie game here at 2-2, but no, the kills do come out, as you said, and SMC stay alive, stay and keep away from another sweep by putting that first point of the map on the board. Danglers will be going back to the attack now. We'll see if they're able to have the same success on their Marsoc round, but overall, I think that was pretty well executed. And if you look at the map after the fact, the overhead from whoever's left marked for you, the Danglers died in kind of a direct line across the map. They weren't really that spread out. They were trying to effectively cover the defense. So it's not like they died for being too aggressive, though Plenus did push forward quite quickly. And of course, found the first kill and then was immediately refragged. But hey, at least he was able to find some success on it if he was going to do it. It's those wasted ones where people get aggressive and then they just die quickly are the ones that frustrate you the most, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. It takes a lot to hone in that aggressive play style. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of rounds, and quite a few losses, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. Not an easy strategy to have to learn, because really for the first, 20, 30 games, you are just running it and dying. Getting those timings down, understanding where the defense could be positioned, all that stuff comes with many, many hours, which pretty much every single one of these players has in Onward. So we will see how Danglers fare in their round 4 Marsoc push. If it'll look anything similar to the SMC push that we just saw.
Like no coverage on those smokes, unfortunately, for the Danglers on those attempts at an early round smokes. They're going to get relocated, in fact, by the defense right back at them.
Linus is going to find a grenade from Ponecake. A very nice throw there, a nice overhand lob. The res will come out onto Nintendo. Another nade coming out very dangerously close to Stumpy, but Rybo finds Ponecake on the quick frag. Beefy now watching Plenus's
Here comes the
doorway.
grenade from Nintendo. It's good. It'll get definitely down landed. Jordan Ponecake will be going for the res. Will Plenus see it? No, he's not.
Fuck, I'm inside of you, dude.
Plenus rushes out to find Mr. Beefy as Mr. Beefy finds Stumpy Nub. Dangler's still down a man. Stumpy killing himself off with a grenade that he had pulled the pin on.
An unfortunate kill there, but a great throw by Beefy. Plenus is inside. Hanobi J just runs right past Landon, but not before he finds Ponecake, and now Nintendo finds Landon on that refrag, and it's a quick 2v2 here.
Yeah, Plenus has been running past people pretty obliviously so far in this round. Got to make sure and check that left-right occasionally, especially when getting close to the objective when you know there's going to be defenders tucked in tight.
Sounds like Ryboman's picked up the shield here, now making the approach on the west side. Gonna need to be that coordination again. Nintendo and Rybo got to be working together. Sickness does spot out Rybo. Captain Soda finds Nintendo, and now it's a 1v2. Rybo the only one remaining for the Danglers. He's gonna have to make something happen with this shield here. It's gonna be pretty tricky. Really gonna have to utilize as much of the equipment and time as he has. I mean, he's got 4 minutes and a shield. That's I like those odds. We'll follow Rybo's positioning here. Rybo does end up hearing the defense, so he should have some idea of where they're going to be set up. But he needs to stay quiet. He's got the 3.5 minutes, so he can take this as slow as he needs to.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was just getting ready to say he's got plenty of time left for a map like Cargo. How confident is he in his shield work? We'll have to see. Stumpy Nub and Plenus. Usually your shield bearers on the side of Danglers. I mean, I've seen Rybo use it before. We'll have to see just exactly how confident he is with his usage today. But the defense has no idea where he is.
Just surprising to me, those corner peeks by Sickness should have seen the shield crossing into the tunnel side, but you're right, it doesn't seem like they have any idea where he might be. They could get the drop on at least one of them.
Problem is they're being so unpredictable with like their routes and where they're going to check. They could catch Ryboman at any point just like looking the wrong way because he just looked there half a second ago and no one was there. You know what I mean? And now he's focused somewhere else, and here comes Sickness running around the corner, or Soda coming around the corner, vice versa. Oh, I think Soda might have saw on the peak.
The shield gets dropped, but the shots don't make it. Now Captain Soda looking for that refrag. Gonna find it. Sickness putting a little bit of pre-fire down, trying to keep him occupied as Captain Soda rotates.
He's getting pinched. He's not going to hear it either. I don't think he's going to hear Soda coming. If Sickness keeps up the pressure, it would help, but he's not going to. Here he comes. Rival does hear it, but SMC going to get the trade, and they'll get their second point, tie things up here on map 3. Things are getting a little nerve-wracking now. Danglers probably not feeling as confident as they were at the start now that SMC's brought things back up to a tie.
Yeah, and I mean, we're sort of seeing that in play. Like that first round, that first Danglers round was so speedy, right? They got aggressive, they found their picks, they got the kills. It looked like they were just gonna steamroll the rest of these rounds, but all of a sudden they started slowing up. They started being a little bit more methodical, and that has allowed SMC to get back on the board here. And now we're back in this tie ball game. SMC Danglers duking it out for the winner of this series in map 3.
And this is probably Sickness's favorite objective. This is the one where I've seen him run just right through people, just in the midst of smoke and this and that, and get right inside that little red crate without anyone even knowing he's there and get a cap. So Danglers aren't aware of that and are keeping a good eye on this objective. We could be seeing the very last round of this game. I'm calling it right here if they're not careful.
Absolutely. Careful they must be. Only 4 more rounds left. Potentially. Or, no, sorry, 3. Man, math is hard. Ooh. Math is hard. 3 rounds left between SMC and Danglers to decide this. Cannot be caps for either side, as that would be a victory in the next 2 rounds. So we should be seeing some pretty tight defenses here. I'd be surprised to see Danglers come out aggressive now, although seems like when they do is when they win. So
That is correct, sir.
That is, I guess it's 50-50. I want to see it, but I don't want to see it. You know what I mean? I'd like to see it come down to a 4-3, one way or the other.
Nintendo, I want you to know I just saw you doing that floss dance from Fortnite, and I'm clipping it and putting it. And
that is a definite league suspension.
Yeah,
I know the mods will review.
Mod just saw it live on stream. I don't need to review it.
That's true. That's an insta-ban. Pwnecake with the rush on Plinus does find him listening for those grenades, and
how unfortunate for Plinus. C4 with no effect. Utility just going down the tubes for Danglers right now. With a nice little chuck. Rivalman will find a connection on the Soda, who was on a rotation, but will also receive the explosive end of Beefy's grenade. Nintendo in there for a quick revive.
Yeah, the reses do come out. We're back into a 5v4 SMC up on the series so far. Yeah, just a lot of equipment raining down on each other. Again, just really throwing rocks back and forth. And Nintendo, the first one in that exchange to find one. Pwnecake down in the middle, but another res going to come out. Oh, most of SMC is dead to 1 bullet at this point.
Yep.
Push is going to be coming through now in the middle here. We'll follow Pwnecake and Captain as they try to make their push.
Anglers have got to start getting at least some of these frags, these refrags, because if they coordinate all 5 at once, it's going to be really hard for Danglers to counter as it all unfolds at one time. If they're able to do one by one here, narrow it down to where there's only 1 or 2 left, it'll be better for them. But if they allow this to come at them all 5 up, it's going to be a rough go at them for it. That was the most incomplete sentence I've ever said.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough go of it for sure. Llewellyn looking for Sickness, doesn't find the shots. Captain Soda now looking for a rotation here from Nintendo or Llewellyn. Kind of sort of stuck next to each other, and there's the peak. Mr. Beefy, Llewellyn, and Captain Soda all trading back and forth. Nintendo finds Sickness on his next peak, and now it's a 3v3 with the Danglers evening up the odds a little bit more. Pokecake finds Nintendo on that west side, and now the west is entirely open. Rybo and Stumpy overcommitted here. Rybo finds Landon at green barrels. Beefy and Stumpy trading shots. No one's finding the kill just yet. Those are the most bullets I think I've ever seen people miss at this distance. Pokecake and Rybo trading back and forth, but now Pokecake should be almost free and clear for the cap.
Will they see Pokecake out in the open? No, he's not going to be able to. And Stumpy and Beefy will trade. SMC will take the point, and Danglers will lose their advantage for the first time on this map officially. SMC now taking the lead and 1 round away from securing the series.
Absolutely. Pokecake with 7 kills so far on the series. Plenus with 8. I mean, both teams doing work, just struggling to close out right now. Danglers losing a little bit of steam there, and SMC finding it, bringing themselves up in the series. I mean, that was pretty funny on the Stumpy battle there. There's a lot of bullets missed on both sides. Probably a clip's worth on both sides there. But finally, SMC able to close that out. I was shocked to see Pokecake not push. Maybe they didn't have a full count, or comms weren't coming out properly. Yeah, so they're... But Stumpy on the rotation back to the objective was in time, so they do save themselves in the short term, but now they have to battle back 2 points and try to grab the win either off a cap here or try to win the next 2 rounds. And the way SMC's been looking these last couple of points,
it's gonna be an F.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle.
For sure.
Definitely going to be a struggle, but what a series it has been, folks. Oh my goodness. I'm excited to see how this turns out. Appreciate all you guys throwing stuff into the chat there, all those clips. We do love seeing that. Thank you very much. Participation is fantastic, and we appreciate you tuning in general. But now we've got our round 6, our second to last round of the series here, potentially, unless Danglers can pull out a miracle cap. The smoke is raining down all over the map. Looks like it's causing more problems to the offense than it's causing to the defense, as it's largely on their side, but they do get across one member on the right. Plenus now in the middle. Plenus getting aggressive, doesn't catch Soda as he rotates out. A very smart rotation by him. Now there's a deadline here. Another nade coming in from the offense. Not going to find Captain Soda, although pretty close. Plenus making the peek. Oh, just missing. Soda, he rushes out, but the trade is what happens there. And both members down and out. So 4 versus 4 in this second to last round.
4 all, and Stumpy and Sickness getting ready to meet again in the exact same location as they had in the past. Coming up with Landon ready for it this time as he comes around the corner. Landon just lays into him. Pokecake now going to find Llewellyn as well, and the Danglers are falling apart here. Looks like SMC is going to be able to nail this one down. Ryboman and Nintendo, the only 2 left.
Yeah, the nade just short onto Landon's position would have been a key pickup here for him, but now Sickness should be aware of Rybo's approach here, but Landon in that same corridor. Rybo rushes for the kill on Sickness, but Landon with the solid defense there makes it a 1v4 as Nintendo, the last member of the Danglers, looks to put something together to keep the Danglers in the series, and SMC looking real strong to finish this series out.
Yeah, they came back, and there it is, the final kill onto Nintendo with the trade. SMC will take the map number 3 and the series, so congratulations to them. Commiserations to Danglers, who again were our challengers. So SMC getting the win in the series. Overall score, though, you'll have to do that. Because
I've got all the math here for the folks at home. So the final score, as you see on the board there, is 9-8. Series going to SMC Tactical. Not a huge MMR blow for Danglers, so that is one of the bright sides. But still, a loss it is, and a great series played by SMC. Some really well-coordinated plays. A ton of equipment utilization. I mean, really just almost an excessive amount of equipment utilization from both sides. Those grenades basically raining down at the start of every map. And SMC able to pull that out in the end for them. And that is going to do it from the casting desk here on Onward Master League 1. There is a match going on Master League 2. I'm not sure if it's wrapped yet or not. But go ahead and go ahead and check that out. That did start about it started about a half hour ago. So go ahead and jump over to Master League 2 to check out the action there. That is Nightfire streaming Fury versus Mayhem, the Season 8 Week 1 match there. And that does do it for the series of matches for Week 1. Tune in Week 2 as we bring you more amazing Onward action. I have been your caster, Noman with a 4, joined by Sleepy with 2 3s. We do appreciate everybody tuning in. Really quickly want to thank our sponsors, VR Cover and ProTube, for all of the stuff they do for the league. If you're interested in becoming a caster, a player, a team, starting a team, really anything, go on, head over to vrmasterleague.com and check out all the resources there. We've got links to the Twitch, the YouTube, the Facebook, all that good stuff. Join the Discord. Lots of great people there. The community is fantastic. We do appreciate everybody putting in the time that they do. And I think, Sleepy, if you've got something else you want to say, now's the time.
No, I think you said it all well enough for me. Just thanks again to all the viewers for coming out. We appreciate all the clips. We appreciate all the bits. We appreciate all the subscriptions, likes, and follows on all the various channels spread out throughout the social media atmosphere. Of course, it's been great. This has been a wonderful game. Again, GG's to both teams, and congratulations to SMC on their win. But that's going to be it for me. So, Noman, take us out.
Absolutely. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Again, this was Noman and Sleepy bringing you Onward VR Master League, SMC and Danglers. We are signing off. See you in Week 2.